Says no audio.
That's fine. They saw it. They saw it.
All right, go to that Kickstarter and you'll be able to hear it.
Yeah.
It'll sound great there.
But yeah, the music was great. So yeah.
All right.
Here we are
Welcome
with
to
Matthew.
the show.
Yeah, thanks for. I just got here, so just got here. So I'm sure you guys had a lovely morning.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great. Yeah.
Yep.
And I just wanted to stop in, and I know you guys have been here since day one, with all the hopes and dreams of, the world of making toys, and so I really wanted to share with you guys some of these. These are the first samples we got back from the factory, and so these are actual toys, and the factory told me I got to go through these and kind of make notes on certain things, and I just wanted to stop in and say hi and show off some stuff. So
I seeing these at shows where you've had what are they called,
the paint masters.
The paint masters.
Yeah.
The size has been in front of me the whole time. I mean, it really has. But when you see them like this now, where you can actually get them in these articulated, like moves and getting ready for battle and everything.
Yep.
These dudes are huge.
Yeah, plus all of them right next to each other.
Oh,
and variants.
Yep.
This is absolutely amazing.
Well, Steven.
Oh,
Steven, why don't you throw that up on?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Is his spear gonna hit somebody?
Nope.
Okay, so listen. For all of Steve's faults,
there's a lot.
This pose right here makes up for all of them. Like, that is amazing. And Matt, the fact that figure is getting in that pose and holding it, man.
I'm not joking. I had a figure on one. Well, Steve, before I even got these samples, the original unpainted samples, Steve had it up on one leg like it was running.
Yeah.
And it stayed there for 3 days straight. Like it never fell. I got it and I moved it to somewhere else. But
well, I would say you definitely nailed the balance.
Yeah, and the width of the feet really help. And then obviously you have a little bit of the tail, because how could you make dinosaurs and not include tails? Like, it makes sense to give them tails.
They need tails.
They have to.
They're dinos.
Dude, these are great. I'm really impressed, and I was excited about this. And I was excited because you're my friend. Like, and you're getting to create your own toys and toys that you envisioned,
Yeah.
But now really seeing them like this, man, I am super excited for these.
Thanks, man. It's been awesome. And so little things like, for instance, with this guy, like those fins, you have to put it, like, we can't have them on him in the packaging because it'd just be way too deep. Going back to just the original stuff, like Corn Boy, thankful to the horsemen that were that sculpted these for us. And he really leaned into, hey, we got to do these helmets removable and just different little things like that he added, and they're the brand of the Four Horsemen being like, no, this is, we know what we're doing, and to trust their process, to where, I came along and I was like, hey, I want to add some of this toy stuff that, as we're playing with them and messing around with them, I wanted certain things interchangeable and the necks to be able to pop off and stuff like that. So while he's up, I'm going to grab, if you want to keep talking real quick, I'm going to grab something.
Yeah, these look great. These are some great toys. I can't wing it.
Jeremy, are these grabbing that 80s like nostalgia aspect for you from the Turtle, He-Man, or is it that vibe?
I think it fits right in line with those, but like on the upgraded level. So like these would hang out with like classics He-Man.
Yeah.
These would hang out with my NECA Mirage or movie Turtles or something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like that figure, we've got our head packs. And so what I have to do is go through. So for instance, that is kind of a matte finish, and the shine on his helmet is a lot. It's a lot cleaner and has more of a metallic shine to it. So I just have to put in the notes like, this needs to match this helmet exactly as far as the finish, so that it matches once it's popped onto the figure. that it pops on perfectly. So yeah. And here we have Milwick.
Which you can't even get him all in there.
And so this was another thing that from the toy side of things.
Cody, should we move this back a little bit? Yeah.
From the toy side of things, there was so much empty dead space in the Magic Blast that we actually used the sculpt of the hand. And I'm proud to say this is something that I came up with. Cornboy and their team came up with this way of it wrapping around the staff so that it looked like the energy and the magic was projecting straight off of it. And so we used that hand sculpt so that you could take the blast off of the blast and you could actually put it on a fist of any character too. So they all come with 3 sets of hands, that type of stuff. But again, articulation wise too, even though they're upgraded size figures, we added a point of articulation on that bicep, on that upper forearm, so that the bicep moves as well. So
Brilliant, man.
It's again, it's still pretty surreal. We're at the point where now we're doing production and they still quite haven't gotten here from the factory. But there were some things that we need to tweak that we definitely want to adjust to make sure that it's the right product for our fans.
So how long do you think it's going to be until these are in our hands?
I want to say at least a handful of months. I mean, I don't know how that. So the biggest thing is as they do these edits, people need to realize that like it's not an overnight type of thing.
Sure.
Like they literally have to go back into the tooling process. And what we did was, so we added these straps on all the figures that had stuff on their backs because you want a weapon? Excuse me.
Bless you.
Bless you, sir.
Well, I might as well get you his actual weapon. But the process is not.
Yeah, they're going to have to go into the steel mold or tools and actually modify them to make these corrections,
Sure,
which
yeah.
isn't.
Yeah.
Takes time.
Yeah, I'm sure, that's going to be probably, I would assume, welding and grinding. I don't know how they do that, but
Yeah, they have to build parts up of the mold and to build it up or to tear it down, different things like that. So I do know that we are well on our way, and it's a process, and I'm thankful that people are like have been patient as they have been, and I can't wait to get them into people's hands. But the last thing I specifically with Kuzo, when his shield was on his back, it's like feels like it's like the armor ends up choking him, and it just looks goofy. And I'm like, well, why would I have something on the back? You want to get the two pieces of the shield out of there. So yeah. But once we start rolling, I mean, that's the plan. I just want to get them here, and I want everyone to be happy, because people are like, well, when's Wave 2 and when's Venusia and when's Skavar coming out and all this other stuff, and it's like, well, I just want this stuff to be real, and it's like 75-85% real, and until I have these giant boxes of all of your figures in my hands, it's not going to be 100% real. So we're again well on our way. I get little edits. Nothing. The good thing is all of the edits that we have to do with the armor. So the figures themselves and the cuts and the way they're posable and the movement and articulation, it's all done and set, so we don't have to change any of that stuff. But so for instance, the back of his tail, you guys, as it spins, it has this part that's supposed to be green on there that matches the belt. And so a little thing like that, I just make a note, hey, this is supposed to be green to match the belt.
Right.
You forgot this part. Andrew did a great job with the colors. So we just want to make sure that the colors match exactly. And these are matched from the Paint Master. So that's why these look so great. I had to mail them the Paint Masters. And once they came back, I'm just, again, blown away, by how they turned out. So let's grab this guy off if you want.
That is, I know it's fun. Like, I understand it's fun, but is it kind of, is it crazy pressure going through and looking at every single little piece of this action figure?
Well, yeah, because you definitely don't want to miss anything, because you want to look at it like you're like.
Still have no audio?
Well,
You got audio on your side there, Peter? Or
I got audio
Steven?
here for
Yeah.
sure.
There we go. Now we're back.
Okay.
Okay.
We're good.
But yeah, like even this right here, like this pose is incredible, and it definitely just shows the way that the figures can be balanced. And yeah, I had Kuzo up on 1 foot on our shelf for a while, and this guy's missing it too. So this green right here in the
Yeah,
middle of the
that's-
belt's
yeah.
supposed to be on that upper. Now I broke.
Be gone.
But and I do like the asymmetrical look, so we'll leave that off.
Was
Because
there
I think
ever
it
a
looks
time when
pretty
you guys
cool.
considered jaw articulation or anything like that?
Yeah, so I have went with the 4 horsemen again, and we already have our Venusia, our more crocodile looking figure, has articulation jaw. Our snapping turtle has articulated jaw. I actually have an elder version of the Bronto with an articulated jaw. It all comes down to spacing inside of there, because you do have that peg kind of going into the head. So
Gotcha. I just wondered if like there's a possibility in future waves maybe having like head packs or something where if they can figure that out.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's something that, obviously people that are on the Kickstarter, they're going to have, issue 1, that it was the first one because their jaws didn't move.
Sure.
But that would definitely be something that I think would be
just curious.
would be cool. And I think people would really like that.
These things are freaking beautiful, man.
Dude, Caspar is just like, what's been really cool. So, and I've talked to some people about this too, is that initially I had a buddy that didn't want me to name any of them. And then when I decided to name them, now I'm putting them in the comic book, and like Caspar and all these other guys, it's been really cool coming up with storylines and like personalities and stuff like that, because originally it's just like, well, these figures, you do whatever you want with them.
It brings the figures more to life.
Yeah. So that's been incredible. We'll you want to put up right or there? See right here.
Oh my gosh. I knew I was gonna like these. I got to tell you, I love them, and I a lot more than even what I expected.
Yeah, they're really thick and chunky.
Well, yeah, if you have them in your hands,
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what the weight is, but they definitely, like, I mean, I don't have anything to compare it to right now holding, but they're big figures. There's a lot of
knock out a tooth.
plastic. So like, yeah, so Travis is gonna hold one in each of his hands. He's comparing it to a Mythic Legion.
Yeah.
What figure is that?
This is Ecrodon, so it's a ogre, and I really feel like they're about the same.
Okay.
Yeah. Ecrodon's a little bit taller, but yeah, this gas barrier is thick. Yeah.
Mav asks if they're cosmic green guy heavy. I wouldn't say quite that heavy.
They're not quite
Slog?
slog. I would say they're right around an ogre, maybe. I mean, they probably weigh a little bit more than an ogre, but it's close. Size-wise, that's definitely where I would put it.
We'll take off.
I mean, you don't stand, right? I suppose. Oh.
Yeah, holy shit.
Well, and I absolutely love how the mask turned out, because there's the 3 different ways that you can pose them. You can do mask up, on, you can do it off.
I love it down, man. The eye slits like that make it creepy.
Yes, CJ did a great job
Yeah.
designing the helmet for him too. So take that bad boy off. Just gonna set it back there.
Yeah.
The paint turned out amazing, and obviously being at the factory where, you know, when you say do this like the 4 horsemen, they're like, okay, well, we know how to do this. We know this look and the style and the detail and the wash. A few of the things I didn't bring up here yet, but like the weapons packs, they have the right color, but they're like not the wash that we want. So like a little bit of that stuff, we're like, no, we need this red X to match Kuzo's scheme. It matches his color, but it doesn't have that black wash on it, so it's a little bit too bright. So just little edits like that we want to make sure are complete before we deliver.
And something, you know, not to point out negative things, I'm just curious, how do the straps, like I notice all of them are kind of loose.
Well, like this one specifically is the reason why that we have to change it, because of the weight of the shield being on his back.
Oh, so you're saying this particular version right here is not
this armor is not final.
Okay,
because
right.
this
was the update to that.
No, not at all,
Gotcha.
because it would be tight on there. But yeah, these straps, the back plugs of it, you know, the male part and the female part, and like figuring out where to put what. And we want to make sure that it's tight. So there was too much space under the arms there. So that's the reason why we have to edit that.
I think, Matt, too, you've done some really fun things with the being able to take each weapon topper off and put it on a different thing.
Yeah.
You know,
swapping weapons, how is it pop and swap wise?
So all of the weapons,
Mav's hitting us up with a bunch of questions.
Yep.
Here,
so all of the weapons, and even Kuzo's the only figure, but the tail tip comes off. So we initially, this was the only idea that I had, was like, oh, it'd be cool if you could swap out his arm or his tail tip and his weapon tip. But then once I decided on that, it became why wouldn't we just do every single thing that we had weapon wise, like, so that you could take off and put on? Because again, we're going to have different heads are going to be swappable. We have the head packs and all that stuff, so you can literally put every single thing that we have. You can put the baby blade tip of Vazapo's staff on there. You can put the big tip on there. You can put the axe hammer. You can put the top of Milwick's staff on there. Like, they all fit. So again, that was something that as we're making it, we're like, well, why wouldn't you just add this?
And now all the bodies are essentially the same.
Bodies are all the same buck. That was the way we were
wanted to swap for color wise. Is it easy to swap any of the body parts, or is that not really a thing?
Tails are poppable, heads and necks are poppable, and hands are poppable.
Okay.
But yeah, the rest
you wouldn't
of it,
suggest ripping out the arms.
I would only say if you know what you're doing and you already do it with other toy lines, I mean, for sure, give it a shot. But I don't know what I'm doing, so I wouldn't.
I'm just getting the questions answered.
Matt, what's your favorite one on the table?
Dude, it goes back and forth, because originally, like, this was my favorite dinosaur growing up.
Mhm.
Kuzo here, and he seems to be a fan favorite just from the sheer numbers of how many we sold of him.
He looks amazing.
Yeah.
And then the shield coming apart thing was another toy thing that I shot over a message to Cornboy, and I'm like, hey, could we do this? And I'm like, I'm treading water because I'm getting to know them as a company, and I'm just like, oh, well, can I hire you guys and all this other stuff? And I'm like, would this be cool? And then right away he's just like, oh, boom, 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 boom. And just the creativity, like just bouncing right back at me with, oh yeah, we'll try this. And so that's been a really cool part of the process. It went from Kuzo to Milwick to Caspar, and then Rydor for a couple weeks. And then obviously Blue over here has always been a fan favorite. We'll put him up here real quick. General Ciros, CJ's baby. This guy turned out absolutely incredible. And again, giving it story elements where we've got the scar across the eye that we've had there for years, and we have the tip of the tail being cut off in battle, and his plate. I'm sure some dinosaur nerd in your fan group will tell me what this plate is called, but his plate having a big gash out of it. Different elements like that where him being the general being like, no, this guy's he's worn a little bit, and then Kuzo being a guy that was kind of through the ranks with him. They went to they were in the service together and that type of stuff.
Brothers.
Yeah, brothers. That's a good yeah, brothers. But yeah, they all kind of have a special place, and watching them again taking an idea and turning it into something and having these pieces grow, being like, no, the inspiration and friends and family names and cool guys I've met along the way, and then ideas coming along where, again, and I will give credit to where it's due, a year and a half ago or whatever, I'm just like, oh, these are all army builders. I'm going to let people do what they want with them.
Mm-hmm.
And, we just have General Ciros, and then we have the army. And then Steve's like, no, I really think people want like story, like give it, like they're going to army build whether you want them to or not, but like give a little bit of story. And so then I got home, and just by Steve saying that, I'm just like, okay, like this guy, he's the royal guard.
Even more excited about your own shit.
Yeah, this guy. Awesome. I'm like the royal guard. Like he sees Ciros and Kuzo come back from war, and he's just like, oh, what it's like on the front lines with those guys, and but I'm just here guarding the palace, and different stuff like that. So that's been really, really cool, just watching the world kind of build organically on its own. And taking inspiration from those around you, man.
Man, like this is just fun too, to see them all in these poses and being able to see what they really are capable of.
So this is something that's cool. So this figure, this spectral Milwick, it's part of the comic book, so it's part of the story, just like Caspar is, and these were our two Kickstarter exclusives. You guys know Chris from D12 Toys. We wanted to make sure that, excuse me, D13. Jeez, thinking of D12. Never mind. D13 Toys. He's doing the project managing from the factory side of it. And so we were like, yeah, we want this translucent figure. We're going to have it exclusive, blah, 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 blah. And they sent me back the first rendition they did. And for some odd reason, they were like, the word blue came across as green. So I don't know why they came up with this, but some people online see it and they love it.
Yeah.
And so
he's slimed now.
Yeah. So that might, come in the future if we have enough people that want that type of thing. But this is the blue figure that we showed off on the Kickstarter. So that's what we went with. And I put some pictures online, but I mean, having all these pieces interchangeable with Milwick's actual stuff has been kind of cool, that you could take the mask off and you can take pieces of the staff off and the armor off. And it's stupid because I've been thinking about this stuff and talking about this for years and like watching it unfold. And I'm just like, it's still very surreal. So I sound like a baby, but it's a lot of fun. So
no, dude, I can't even imagine what this feels like. Like, I don't have a creative bone in my body. Like, so I can't grasp. But when you're an artist or you have ideas and then you actually get to put it out there and your Kickstarter gets funded and now you get these toys in your hand and then you're going to get to see people's pictures with your toys. You know, I mean, it's going to be a pretty cool experience, and I can't even imagine.
It's really going to be amazing to see what the community does with these once they're out of Matt's hands.
Yeah, so I did bring one just to show you guys what the tone is going to be, but we've got a lot of people purchased basically a blank buck. So you want to hold him right there in front, but that's just what one of the blank guys is going to look like. And then you get to paint them however they want. And they're obviously we were able to make them less expensive because we're doing less work, and enough people were interested in it. And this is the other thing too, that once we design a new loincloth, that we can use this buck itself for anything. And so it's going to be really cool watching what people come up with, because if you want if you want a figure without a tail, and we just like do some editing, and if you do some soft goods, you can just, you know, take out that barbell on the backside and you can do it without the tail. So yeah.
Someone said the biggest translucent figure I've ever seen.
Is it? That could, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
there's anything
how tall is that? Like 10 inches?
Yeah, it's at least 10 inches.
That is a huge translucent figure.
Yeah.
And do it posed like that, how Steve's got him, he just looks awesome.
Yeah, he turned out.
It's definitely going to take up some space on that shelf. So
yeah,
sure
and again with the weight, it's the corny stick has been like, reinforce your shelves. Like, make sure you have those anchored in, just because like 5 of these in a row on a shelf, if you have one of those floating shelves, like it might drop. So
yeah, they are big, which is wild because I know this is where he started, but you have plans for things down the road that won't have this size.
No, I mean, I'm looking at that alien figure that you're just showing off, and that's more of the buck style that we have for, you know, an upcoming wave with utilizing that buck and doing five more characters within the world that have already been in the comic book, and, you know, we already have stories with. So well,
that's the fun piece of it, is your comic has all kinds of characters,
right?
Yeah,
you know, eventually, I mean, it would be incredible to be able to afford to do tooling on individual figures and have it be sustainable as far as just even breaking even and having that stuff in the world. I mean, that's been, I mean, my life for the past 15 years has been making stuff, and I'm, you know, am I technically in debt with every single project I've ever done right now? Yeah. But like I'm making stuff, so I'm just excited that it's happening, and eventually some of it will make into the green and then some of it won't. But, you know, I have comic books that I kickstarted, and, you know, I'm still selling, you know, and stuff like that. So it's just been cool, and I appreciate you guys taking the journey with me, because you guys have been here, and I mean, you've seen the original prototypes and all the little mini ones back when they were the 5-inch scale, and once Mythic Legions came out, it was just like, well, everyone's going 6-inch, you know, and if our humans are going to be 6-inch within this world because we want to get to humans someday, I can't make these also 6-inch. Right. I have to scale them up. So it's been a heck of a journey, and there's been some cool roadblocks that have turned into great things. There have been some ups and downs. Looks like you guys have another advertisement. But now that I'm thinking of like some of the roadblocks, like it's been crazy, like watching it unfold and like going down paths with certain like designers and artists, and like things like end up not working out and me wasting money in certain elements, but coming full circle with the whole project has been really cool. So
that's wild.
Mav again says you need a troll-sized dino in the future. Something you want to do?
I mean, we want to do everything. We want to do everything to the point of, as goofy as it sounds, and it's really funny because Biker Steve was here earlier when I walked in. I know our buddy Tomas that inspired Rydor's name and his character personality in the comic books. He loves riding motorcycles. And like as I was driving up here, I'm just like, frick, I wonder how I could make some sort of motorcycle type vehicle for Rydor to ride, and just even if it's just in the comic book in one panel, it'd just be cool, a cool little nod to Tomas. So yeah, it's been a blast. It's been a blast. So that's
dude, and it's just getting started.
Just getting started, dude. Oh, I can't wait to show you guys more stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I can't yet.
I can't wait to watch the people whine about stuff online.
Yeah. I'm genuinely curious on. I'm genuinely curious. So yeah, what the problems are going to be, but there. I mean, it's always going to be a little bit of that. So you got to take it as it comes. So,
Kuzo, dude, that pose, those weapons.
He's so I would say he's the most complete figure in the fact that it represents everything I believe in a toy line. So cool character, cool options of look, the use of the shields and his mace top and his tail top interchangeable, so the toy side of it, and then the paint scheme, like it like hits everything.
It's great. So good.
Everything that it should. So yeah. So I appreciate you guys having me and let me talk a little bit. I know you guys usually talk about cooler toys like, you know, Ninja Turtles and
Baby Peach.
How do you
get it?
How do you get these toys? So right now, this first wave, not including the 2 Kickstarter, they're still actually for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store. And then once we get them delivered, I'm going to be selling some, and there's wholesalers that also have bought them as well. But yeah, I might get into a little bit of the selling toys game, but I'd rather stay on this side of it where I just get to kind of make it and be creative and let people take orders. So
now you're not able to get some of the Kickstarter ones on Big Bad Toy Store.
Correct. Right? Yep. Spectral Milwick and Caspar are not Kickstarter exclusive figures.
Dude, how crazy is it to fucking look on Big Bad Toy Store and there's your action figure, man?
Yeah, no, it's still again, it's still not real because they're not here yet.
Not
so
here
still
yet.
I'm still like, do I get a hair transplant or do I like do I deliver?
Mini Pete says, I just placed my order on Big Bad Toy Store and they haven't shipped yet. What the hell, man?
Mini Pete?
Well, I don't know if it's really Mini Pete.
No, it's not.
We
It's
think
someone
Mini
who
Pete.
stole Mini Pete's name.
We think Mini Pete.
Yeah. And so like for instance, this is something that's cool that we didn't necessarily have to do, but I thought it was worth it giving our taking a little bit of the what would it be? Some of the not income, that gap. So those head packs, those are renderings, and we were selling them and we sold them online and on our Kickstarter without masks. But I went to the factory. I'm like, well, how much more extra would it cost to put masks in with these head packs?
Yeah.
And so we worked on the numbers. I'm like, no, that's fine. I'd rather cut into a little bit of my profit and have a lot cooler head packs, because even though they look cool, I showed you guys on the camera a little bit, but let me grab one more set just so they can see and give you a for instance, they didn't finish this one was like the colors. I'm like, hey guys, they want the colors to match the heads completely. And so because this finish isn't the metallic finish like it should be.
Yeah, it's very flat.
Yeah, we have to go back in and do.
Can't really. I don't know that the camera was picking that up, but
I think you can see a difference. Yeah, I think you can see it.
Yeah. So that's flat. So again, little edits like that we want to make sure. Like I thought that was cool. That there are going to be people that bought these head packs that never listen to any of these podcasts, and they're going to show up with helmets.
Really,
and like
I
think that's cool. And I was really
bitching. I didn't ask for these.
That's the kind of cool shit to do, though, dude.
Yeah. I'm like, why not? Like that. It's going to add to so much of what people are able to pose and have different looks and different styles. And
just so we can remind everyone that Ideas from Mars is not Mars Industries. I just want to reiterate.
Yeah. I'm not a bad guy from G.I. Joe, is what you're saying.
Yes.
You're not a guy that did a Kickstarter and didn't deliver.
Yeah. These are definitely coming. So
Mars Industries did that.
There was a guy.
you
named-
missed out, buddy.
Oh, okay. I don't know, but no,
Yeah,
it's
that's some drama.
Matthew Aaron Rodriguez Studio. So that's Mars. That's where the Mars comes from. So
Oh.
that's where ideas from Mars.
Nice.
I thought Aaron stood for something else.
I like that.
No, thanks.
That's
Or
smart.
the A. I should say the A stood for something.
That's real smart.
Yeah, freaking smart. He's a guy with. I'm just gonna give you all my ideas, and you can just churn them out and finish them.
He'll make
I
happen.
would hope that within the next 5 years, I can say yes to that. That's my goal.
Awesome.
And
Hopefully
the
I
other
won't be
thing is
dead by
too, and so people don't know on here, but Modern Wonders issue number 3 is in its very final editing of the script, and then that's probably going to be kickstarted. It's going to be a small little guy for probably $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, and we're going to continue the Modern Wonders world, which is my superhero universe, the Wonderverse. So
Heck yeah.
yeah.
Great question. If I don't want the helmets, can I get a refund? this is what it's gonna be, man. Hey, you included these helmets.
You know, and for as much as you guys know, I like to talk so much crap online for fun.
Yeah.
Like I cannot wait to just ignore people.
Yeah, you're gonna have
Yes,
to be
that's the way you got to go.
you're gonna have to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome, man. I am super excited.
Beautiful. I love
Can we
all
just
these.
get one maybe right next to this guy, one lead? I just want to see a legion, the regular size Legion type character just next to, just again, so we can get the comparable. Okay.
Yeah. So I got a Valiant Knight here.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. That size works really well, dude.
Yep.
And like right there, like I've already had the thought process in my head. I'm like, okay, soft goods, chains, I mean, imagine Kuzo's mace, like issue 2, it has just a chain accessory that
Oh,
you're
yeah.
able
Nipple
to
rings.
nipple rings, nipplor.
It's
But
gonna
yeah.
be fun. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Thanks, guys. Love you guys. Appreciate it.
Love you too, buddy.
And thanks to everyone involved. Honestly, all the backers and stuff like that. Again, this isn't happening because if it wasn't for them, because I don't have money to do this type of stuff. So,
Well, yeah, it's a different world. That is a different world.
yeah, it's been cool.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Thanks for coming and seeing us. Thanks for sharing your toys. Pretty excited to get my hands on these. As I think we all go to Big Bad Toy Store and order these. If you haven't gotten in already, please don't miss out. We all know what happens in Mythic Legions when people didn't buy Ortho. They didn't buy them. Now they're crying. Don't let that happen to you. Later, everybody.